Hey, Kingdom family, coming to the living room today with Three Crowns. We will be speaking about the illusion of hyper independence, okay? Kings and queens. Our scripture we'll be reading today is going to come out of Ecclesiastics, and it's going to come out of 4 and 9. It says, two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. All right, kings and queens. So usually we actually correlate this conversation in regards of marriage, okay? But I want you to look at it from a different perspective and vantage point, that being hyper independent does not mean that you don't still need God, okay? I don't want you to get so independent that you feel like you don't need God in your life. What we're seeing nowadays in this world is, as soon as somebody comes up, as soon as things are going very well for their life, what happens is they forget about God, okay? And so, kings and queens, I want you to understand that you're always going to need God. It doesn't matter. You're going to go through your ebbs and flows in life, and you're going to need God for every area of your life. There should never be a time in your life that you don't utilize God, regardless if you're up or if you are down. Now, what we're seeing is a lot of people don't like to call on God until they are going through some type of situation where they feel like they don't have no other anyone else to call. All doors have been closed. You know what I'm saying? Their money is looking funny. Or their health is getting bad. They got a bad report from the doctor, or they just don't feel like they are up. Okay, but I want you to understand that you're supposed to call on God for every level in your life, whether you are up or down. If everything is going right, if you got the big house, if you got a nice car, if your finances are looking ideal, you still need to have God in your life. You should never turn your back on God, because just like you will acquire something, God is the same one that'll take it from you if you feel like you are too independent to actually have God in your life, kings and queens, okay? Your independence is amazing, okay? I just want you to know that. I want you to understand that being independent is not a bad thing, all right? It only becomes negative when you get rid of God or don't acknowledge God for getting you to the point where you can be self-sufficient and independent, okay? We should never turn our back on God, all right? But hyper independence, saying I don't need God for anything, I did it all myself, and having this ego with it, it's like you're living in an illusion. Because if you think that you got to the point where you are at today and God did not help you and assist you in that area, then that means you are delusional and you're living in an illusion, because God is always going to be the one that's going to assist you in your elevation, kings and queens, and that's just period, okay? And so God has designed us for a covenant relationship with him, so we can be connected with him, so we can actually utilize him for who he is. And anytime we get in an area in our life where we have any questions or concerns, we can go to God, okay? But to sit up here and say I don't need anybody for anything, I can do it myself, and and I did this by myself, it's not realistic. You are living in a illusion, okay? You don't do anything by yourself. And if you are in the area where, say for instance, you have this false thought that you are strong and you are powerful just because you are up, or you're you know what I'm saying, you have numbers in your bank account. If you really believe in your heart that did not come from God, okay, is the reason why you have that status, then something is wrong with you, okay? Even if you don't believe in God and you acquired wealth because you did something with the devil, or you stepped on other people's toes to get to where you are right now, I want you to understand that God actually allowed it, all right? So you're not actually independent from God. It's you just living in an illusion that you've gained things without God, and it's not true. And so I'm here to actually shatter your illusion of the situation. You can't do anything without God, and you will lose anything that God did not give you, and you will also lose anything if you actually put it above God. All right, so I want you to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's always good to be self-sufficient and independent, but once it gets dangerous, once you feel like you've done everything by yourself and you don't acknowledge God in any of it, or God didn't give it to you. And so I want us as a kingdom family and kingdom people that derive from God, I want you to understand that you need to acknowledge God in your independence. If you're self-sufficient, you are not self-made, you are God-made. And so he gives you those ideas. He gives you, you know what I'm saying, the drive to do it. He gives you everything. And so he needs to be acknowledged for that. All right. I want you to understand that you will gain more when you include God. You will gain more when you pray to God. You will gain more when you ask God for his guidance. You will gain more when he is acknowledged. You will actually build on a foundation where you will actually keep what you have when you are utilizing God in your independence. Okay, he'll make you feel safe, he'll make you feel protected, he'll make you strong, he'll make you powerful. And I much rather have the power of God, the strength from God, the information from God, the knowledge, wisdom, and confidence from God. I would rather have that than to try to do it on my own and have this false independence, thinking that I'm separated from God in any of it, okay? Because I want to be able, if I'm going to put in hard work, if I'm going to be independent, I want to be able to keep the things that I have. So I'm going to acknowledge God in all of it. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask God to give me more with his grace and his blessings, and I'm going to ask him for his favor, okay? And then in my independence, I'm going to be able to be comfortable in that because I know that God is supporting it. All right, kings and queens. And so I want you to look at that. Don't ever think that you are independent from God. Always partner up with God as your CEO. Always partner up with God as your guidance and to direct your steps. Don't ever feel like you do it on your own, because I'm telling you right now that is false. It's an illusion and you're being delusional. Okay, kings and queens, I love you so much. I'll talk to you soon.